Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Doc and Queenie Facebook Live at
High noon.
Hello, happy Monday, Queenie.
You know what, Doc? Seriously, is Monday just incredible? And the meetings, the everything, the holy moly. And if you saw my schedule for the rest of the day, I think you'd actually pray for me. And I'm not kidding, in a good way. But Mondays are always super packed with plans for the group, plans for the week, plans for all that stuff. We have count them, three new events launching in the Happy Neighborhood in the next couple of weeks, from nighttime networking to weekend networking to recruit and promote your business networking. And the buzz that's going on, it's electric and it's super fun. And that's what I've been working on, actually. So I just can't, it's so exciting to be alive right now.
That's awesome.
Speaking of alive, how's your garden?
It's still alive. Yes.
Oh my gosh, all the rain that we got, didn't that help you so much?
Totally helped me a ton. And so I don't have to water today. So I'm like very excited.
I bet you are excited. That's fun. And everything's probably so green and gorgeous.
My tomato plants are monsters. So I'm hoping that we'll get some monster tomatoes too, but they're huge. I trim mine back to allow for airflow, and I plant intensively, which means I plant everything close together. So I have carrots underneath my tomato plants, and I'm like, they are getting so big, the carrots will have nowhere to go if I don't keep them cut back. So yes, happy Monday.
Seriously, wow.
So did you know that there are two events this wonderful Monday morning that we can celebrate?
I know one myself, so let's hear yours.
How about this one?
Oh, yum! Guess who else was posting about peanut butter cookies?
Who?
Jasper Mirabli.
My buddy, yeah.
Absolutely. He actually said Happy National Peanut Butter Cookie Day on one of his Facebook posts. And I thought, oh my gosh, I bet Doc knows about Peanut Butter Cookie Day. Those look great.
They're not mine, but yes. Do you like peanut butter cookies, Queenie?
Yes, I guess if they're burnt. You know how I am about everything being burnt. And I don't mean black charred necessarily, but definitely not doughy gooey. No. And peanut butter cookies somehow don't seem to be as sweet somehow. I don't know if that's just me or the peanut butter takes over. And my grandmother used to put teensy chunks of peanuts in them. And so I'm talking, they were so rich, you actually could only eat one or two because they were just killed.
Yeah, I don't like my peanut butter cookies, with chunks in them, but I do like them, like you say, a little singed.
Yeah.
Because it gives a little more flavor.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like having a steak without a little layer of fat, at least to moisturize. I knew you were going to do that. But you have to have either marbled or a slight amount in order for it to be tender. Because if you didn't have any fat, it would be dry. Then again, I always eat my steak. Well, and I probably shouldn't talk about this in front of you, but I always eat mine medium rare. So.
Oh my goodness. Mine, once every 10 years, whether I need it or not, is usually a butterflied filet. If I allow the filet to not be butterflied, then it has to be fork tender, or I'm not touching it.
Well, I'm glad that you have some parameters on there, Queenie.
I know. And very seriously, Roost Chris was one of my favorite places to go. And again, a couple times a year kind of thing. But and most of the time when I went there, I got salmon actually. But the bigger issue is if I would ever choose to do beef, oh my gosh. Yeah, I do have a lot of parameters. Yeah, no marbling, no fat, no ookie, and it has to be fork tender. So yeah, I guess I am a little picky. I know you did.
I love the Hereford House filet. It was like 10 inches thick.
Yeah, it was. Oh, for real. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyways, we digress. Let's go back. Let's go back to let's switch it around and not think about food, because I'm starting to get hungry.
Yeah, I was going to say, how can we not think about food at high noon? Yeah.
So you know what this means?
You love flowers.
Well, yeah, we know that. But you know what kind of flowers those are, or petals from what kind of flowers those are?
Looks like red roses, right?
Yes, it's National Red Rose Day.
National Red Rose Day.
Yes.
All right. I think I can actually do that.
Yep. I
I
like
did it. All right. Good for me.
so there you go. I was waiting. Ta-da!
I know. Spin, 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 spin. I know. National Red Rose Day. Wow. Do you have red roses in your gorgeous gardens?
No, I do not. I do not like roses because of the thorns.
Ah, there we go. And there's
So,
too many metaphors about that. Let us talk about thorns, right?
yes. No,
Oh my God.
and I actually discovered this weekend. I didn't post anything. I should post something about this. That I bought a lemon tree, and it's about 2 years old. And I went to transplant it, and I rubbed my arm against the branch, and I'm like, "What in the world was that?" My lemon tree has thorns.
Oh gosh, no, I don't think I would have even guessed that.
I wouldn't have guessed that either, but so maybe it'll keep the bunnies away. I don't know. It's
Well,
we'll
and
see.
let's think about that honestly. You have done so great with your shorts and your reels for sawdust and for tree root cutting and for all your little chainsaw thing. Can you imagine what a reel would look like discovering the thorn on a lemon tree? I bet that would go absolutely nuts.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, what it turns into. But no, and that's the only reason I don't grow roses. I love roses, and it doesn't matter what color.
Uh-uh. My
They're all
mother had the
beautiful.
most gorgeous rose gardens all the time, and she had multicolored. Like she would, whatever you do to make this a different color, she'd scoot it over to this one, and now you would have like this peachy, reddish something raspberry looking thing.
Wow.
She was amazing, and then the white ones would have doodah, and she was so good at that stuff. And her yellow roses had a little hint of, so her rose gardens were amazing. People would stop on the road. She lived on across from a little lake over in Leawood, and people would stop on the street
To look.
and ask if it was okay if we come up and take a look at your gardens. And
Wow.
yeah, hers was phenomenal.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
cool though.
Mm-hmm.
But happy National Red Rose Day,
And
Queen.
then there's me. We're not going to even go there. Well, thank you. Happy Red Rose Day to you as well, Doc.
So what's new in the land of Overland Park?
You missed one.
Oh, I did.
Yep.
I did, didn't I? I don't remember. What is it? Do you have a background? I don't have a background.
Today, one of our faithful friends on purpose has a birthday. Amazing Grace.
See, I haven't been on Facebook. Facebook always tells me. So
Amazing Grace. Happy birthday to Amazing Grace Strawn. And it is so fun to have the birthdays of our faithful friends on purpose actually fall on Monday. And so happy birthday to Amazing Grace.
awesome. Yes. Happy National Grace Birthday Day.
Yes, exactly.
Here's a rose for you. And I'll send over some peanut butter cookies.
Seriously, that's the best news of all. I love that.
So what's new, Queenie? Anything new you'd like to talk about today?
Well, I always think in terms of, as I mentioned earlier, all the 3 groups that we've got coming up with Happy Neighborhood Project. I always love the fact that our events are open to everyone and they're free. And that makes me super duper happy. And it is so fun to be able to meet people from across the globe. And that's why I'm really excited about the 3 new events we've got coming up. People have been asking for nighttime networking. Some people post-pandemic are back to JOBs, 8 to 5, 9 to 5 kind of thing. And so this will be at 7 o'clock Central Time every Wednesday, starting in another week. So that'll be fun. And then every Saturday at 11 o'clock Central AM, that will be another one coming up because some people want to network on weekends. And then the one that is for if you're a recruiter for your team, for your company, for your insurance agency, for your real estate brokerage house, whatever that looks like, that will be on the 3rd Thursday at 5 o'clock Central. So all of those coming up are going to be opportunities that we have not had yet before. And I think people are going to love that.
So if somebody is new to Happy Neighborhood Project, how would they go and find it?
The first thing is happyneighborhoodproject.com /events, and all of those networking events are on there on the website. And that's the best news of all. The new ones aren't on there this second. We have the links and some of the event pages on Facebook and LinkedIn now, but some of the newer ones aren't on there. Think about Girls Night. We've only had our third Girls Night, which was last week, actually. And people are still talking about that. HMP Girls Night once a month. And it's phenomenal to me, all these different groups that are popping up. Our fourth Girls Night is July 13th. And I think in terms of that, and by the way, I posted, I think I created an events page already with that dynamic background that you did layout for our posting party on July 25th. That has already gotten buzz on the LinkedIn page. So people are really looking for networking, Doc.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think things ebb and flow, and it seems like it's picking up again. For a while,
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
It was super popular and then it dropped off, and I think it's picking up again.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it's so fun to see that because people are paying attention and all the different. Now, Karen, I was just a second going to talk about you. Hi to Karen Higgins. And when you follow Karen, if you possibly can, you will need a helicopter for sure. But Karen has several locations with the ACA Club, American Club Association. And so please connect with Karen if you haven't already, because the locations are awesome. There's a bunco party in Overland Park tomorrow night, and I think coming up soon in Shawnee. And so bunco parties, think about that, how much fun that is to actually network in person. And so please connect with Karen if you haven't already to be connected to that. Grace Strawn is part of the Olathe Chamber of Commerce. She's one of the ambassadors there, so please connect with her. There's so many different events happening in person now, which is super duper fun. And then, of course, I'm part of the worldwidechamber.com, Christian Women Entrepreneur Network, of course, certainly the Doc and Queenie community, Happy Neighborhood Project, Fun Fearless Female Global Community of Christian Women. And hey, Doc, do you know the news?
Which news are we talking about?
Delinda Lane is moving to Kansas City again.
Yes,
so excited.
Yes.
And so part of the Fun Fearless Female Global Community of Christian Women, that's going to be back in person again, I'm sure, when Delinda gets back and settled, certainly. And so there are so many different groups to belong to, some in person, some virtual, some both. And so it's just a blast. I mean, seriously, it's just a blast. Coffee Club on Friday. Misty Hinkle was there from Australia, and she actually recorded the event in segments. So I'm just telling you, Doc, networking on steroids is taking over.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Queenie. So, hey, how about some wheels today?
Oh my gosh, wheels.
Spin.
Well, cross your fingers. When you're on StreamYard, everything's a little different than when you're on Zoom. So let's see if it likes it today. You never know. You want to do, and actually, you please pick, because you are so great at this. You want to do words or the questions?
Well, I guess, well, let's see if we can get both in. I'd like to do both, to be honest.
All right. Both sounds like you. Let me shuffle 7 times for your lucky number. All right, wait till it stops all the way. The wheel always has issues when we are on.
Because it's Monday.
I know. Seriously.
Partnership. Cool.
Absolutely. Partnership.
So
what does that mean to you?
Yes.
I did the spinning. You do the answering.
Oh, darn. Well, and then I'm having a glitch, like your mouth moved and then you spoke. So
seriously.
You're ventriloquist too, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
Many talents. Partnership. Well, what could that mean? That could mean anything. Of course, I'm a solopreneur, so I don't have a partner, but I do, well, like Doc and Queenie, it's a partnership. We edify everybody. We love to edify small business. We love to inform and teach and educate people together from our own, both of our differing experiences and personalities. Partnership is, you can work together. I always look at it from, it's a working together kind of thing. And that doesn't mean necessarily business, but what is good about a partnership is you basically look over, or you can use, like my weaknesses, you can use somebody can use their strength to cover my weakness. And I'm not explaining it correctly, but you know what I mean. Why don't I just pass that over to you? But that's kind of the direction I'm going in.
The word for today, for those of you joining us right now for Doc and Queenie Facebook Live, the word that we just spun is partnership. And the high part for me of a partnership is camaraderie. And so it is tag team. Those kind of words come to mind. And especially in the Doc and Queenie situation, it's always oil and water, which you would think don't mix. But we're coming up on our third Doc and Queenie Day, which is actually Monday, August 7th. And we met on July 25th of 2019. So when you walked into that networking event for No Excuses Networking at Fazoli's in Olathe, actually, it was one of those things. Laura McCaig brought you in, and we were talking about Laura number 1 and Laura number 2 because Laura Linstra was there. Laura McCaig brought you to that event. So we had Laura number 1, number 2, and number 3. So it was very fun to watch how you decided to show up first. And that way that turned you into Laura number 1. So I remember that vividly. And the next thing you know, it was one of those partnerships with your naturopathy business and certainly my Kangen water business. That for me was the partnership. And now when you're on our water workshops every month, anytime I would defer to physiology, I know how the water works on the machine and the technology piece for sure, how to change the filter, how to fix the something, how to whatever the pH levels are for. But from a standpoint of naturopathy and how the water works on the physiology piece, that for me is a partnership. And so I take it back to the camaraderie and the tag team piece. And one of my reps in my Kangen water business just sold a machine a couple of weeks ago to one of her friends. And so for me, that's the also partnership, because even if that person steps out because she does actually have another booming business, the new person that she brought in will be my new business partner because she wants to do this as a business. So all of those things spiral for me, and in a good way. And I love the ascent that people are accomplishing when they decide to go strategic partnerships. And that's a biggie for me.
Well, you know, one thing that I've seen you teach, which I think sometimes people might miss or haven't thought about, or they're not there yet. It's okay to be, I don't know, maybe we can do the water. I'm part of your family, but it's okay to be a partner with somebody in the same field.
Oh, yes.
Whether it's water, naturopathy, gardening, it's okay, because partnership, from that, like you said, camaraderie, from that you can ideas are born and goals are reached, and those, and you definitely impact whatever people around you, whether it's business or a community or for me, partnering, to me, I'm the person, I'll partner with anybody. Yes. I don't care if you're a naturopath. I don't care if you do gardening. I think we can all learn from each other. I think we can all benefit from each other, because we're all individuals and we all have something to bring to the table. And I think that's the ultimate in partnership. And I've seen you do it, and I've seen you teach about, hey, people in the same field can still partner together and work together. My computer almost went off there. Sorry about that.
That is a beautiful message too. And for me, that turns out to be strategic partnership, because a partner for me is a veterinary clinic and a networking partnership and a chiropractic office. Those would be strategic partners for me, because the water balances out some of those things. And as far as the networking piece, people don't understand this. I have actually been a trainer for other water teams. And they're sitting here going, we're not related monetarily. And I go, I'm well aware of where you're located in the system. But I said, we're all in this together, in my opinion. And so for me, strategic partnerships, just like you mentioned, do not have to be in the same field or even in the same big team. And so that for me is always a opportunity for growth. I learn from people's questions. And so that rocks my world. So I think partnership is such a great word. And the Doc and Queenie partnership with our posting party coming up, all of this stuff is not accidental, Doc.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
So to move on, can we spin the next wheel?
You love this thing, don't you? Oh my gosh. I know that you do. You absolutely love this wheel. That is the cutest thing. And I use this in a lot of different groups, by the way. All right, let's go to Doc and Queenie topics. Let's see what that brings us. All right, I'll shuffle 7 times because I know that's your number. Doc and Queenie topics. All right, ready, Doc?
I am ready, Queenie.
Wait till it stops all the way. Okay, we have actually done me before, so we're going to spin again. We have, because I remember when we did the what was going on with me thing. Look at that.
The word of the day.
I think I'm going to actually start deleting these as we use them because we have done these before. Okay, now this one I do want to talk about because you are just killing it with this. All right, so Clipchamp, honestly, let's talk about this for a second because your strategy for your reels, your shorts, all of that stuff has been amazing. Are you still using Clipchamp for editing all your videos?
Yes. Yes, I am. Yeah, I use a combination between Clipchamp and Canva because Canva also has a video piece to it. So I mix and match.
Of course you do. All right. And I know, in fact, I think your word is eclectic because you definitely are. And I have seen you before. Here is a system. And here's what Doc's going to bring to the system to change it. So I have seen you do that. Yeah, that is.
And Doc will push the system as far as it will go. Yeah. And if it breaks, awesome. Whoops. Yeah.
That is so awesome. And I love that. Now, Clipchamp, how much does that cost actually?
I knew you were going to say that, and I'm trying to think. We pay.
You have to have a paid account to do all the cool stuff.
Well, they do have a free account, but you don't get as much of the frosting. And frosting
that's
is
fair. Mm-hmm.
For example, between video clips, they call it a transition, and you can have the first clip spin out, you can have it fade, you can have it bounce, you can do, those are called transitions, and you get more transitions with the paid account, which is I want to say it's $11.99. We just switched. It's funny. We just switched to a family package. I do believe it's a Google product. It's either a Google product or Microsoft. I should know this, but at the moment it's Monday. Right. But yeah, you can get more music, and just more stuff, more manipulation of your videos, with the paid account. It's like anything. It's kind of like, I'm referring back to Canva. Canva access, you've got a lot of access when you pay their pro account also. To like videos and websites and all of that. The Clipchamp, of course, is strictly video based, but it just gives you more tools to manipulate your video with. So, no, I love it because it's great. I can do something. I do something different every time. So.
And I know that you really do. And that's why I was going to ask when you're doing some of the things that you do for the backgrounds, the things that you do, and all of a sudden here comes something popping in and something else pops in. And all of that, of course, in your case is very strategic. But look what has happened to your views. And let's talk about this for 1 second. You hit 100 subscribers recently. And do you know how many views you have now? You have exploded on the views.
I know I'm at least 16,000, but I could be a little bit more than that. I haven't checked.
That is phenomenal, honestly. And congratulations times a million, because your videos strategically themselves are amazing. But then when you add all of your topics, your subject matter, that has been amazing. And once again, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, stay tuned. I've got pollinating tomatoes coming up today, actually.
Pollinating tomatoes. Well, well, well.
I know it's on the top 10 list for you and everybody watching.
But... Yes, yes. Now, a lot of people are growing gardens, though. I bet you have seen that pop up just because of your algorithm and your traffic. But it's amazing for me to see, because I watch you, all of a sudden other garden stuff is coming up on my feed because I follow you so strategically. And it's very cute to see that.
Yes, it's it's fun, and the clip champ and the videos, that's a blast. I'm having a blast, and I haven't run out of content yet. I
Oh,
mean,
you can't possibly run out of content. There's no way. Yeah.
yes. So the pollinating tomatoes is next, and then after that, I'm building a compost. I was gonna say I don't even know what you would call it. One people do one space. I'm doing three. So I don't know if you call it the mecca of composting, but I'm building a compost large bin out of pellets, so that'll be on there too.
Well, guess what? I think you just titled your video "The Mecca of Composting." I love that.
Here you go. I better write that down.
I really, but I'm very serious about that, because a compost pile to me is like a trash can full of doodah. And so you take it, of course, to the next level of amazing. But that's the organic piece. And see, Doc, look at this partnership. Okay. You are all about organic gardening, filtering the water before you put it on your plants to maintain the integrity of their organic piece to the best of your ability, living in the world as we do. And now you take that one step further to make sure everything that goes in your compost pile is organic.
Yep.
I don't think a lot of people think about that. One of the posts I did on LinkedIn today was, please do not go to farmers market and purchase all this expensive stuff and then take it home and put it under the faucet. And so now all the fibers that you just paid a fortune for, that were hopefully organic when you purchased them, are now filled with chlorine. Yep. And so you really do take it to the next level as far as making sure your compost is organic.
I try the best I can. I've actually had a little kickback from people on Facebook on, well, organic's not what you think it is. And I'm like, well, okay, but if it's USD certified organic, they do have to follow some, they had to follow protocols to get to that point.
Yep.
And, it's not, pesticides, herbicides are not all gone, but the load, as they say, or as they refer to it, is less than if you were to buy conventional. And then I think we've talked about this, I always check the Environmental Working Group website to check the Clean 15, which are the top clean fruits and vegetables, and then the Dirty Dozen, which are the top vegetables and fruits that have the highest load of pesticides and herbicides. And I just watch those to see, if I have to buy conventional, then I will look at that list first, just to see, what is somewhat, everything's not 100% safe, but yeah, I work very hard to keep things as natural and as organic as possible. Drives my family crazy, but it is what it is.
I was just actually going to bring that up, though. Look at how you have proven that your organic efforts matter. Because let's say, for example, you're on vacation, you're out of the country, you're out of the state, you're out of your environment. And now, of course, you're eating conventional, as you call it. And all of a sudden, you don't feel well. And it's not a matter of you ate da-da-da. It's a matter of it's not your organic level that you do. Kind of like also with the water, I have people who say, I'm not bothering to take that on vacation. Great, don't take it. I can't control that. But the bottom line for me is, Enagic has made it as easy as possible. Pop it off the faucet, unplug it from the wall, put it in your backpack, let TSA see the instruction manual just so they know what it is, and you get to take it wherever you're going. And I would not be without this water for 10 seconds. Other people who have chosen to travel without their water, all of a sudden they go, oh my gosh, and whatever their issue is comes back. I appreciate that, but most of the time it's a matter of when you don't have what you're used to or what you choose to have in your actual household, all of a sudden you don't feel as great as you did when you're on your products.
Right. Oh, exactly. I mean, I always, yep. Karen says she's packing bottles for the road trip. All right, you go.
That's true. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I really do. It's called the puppy dog thing. You give the water to people for 2 weeks, then you say, thank you very much. Your 2 weeks is up. Well, what am I going to do now? Well, you wanted to see what it does. Now you see, and it's a matter of let's find a creative way, actually, to get you to have your own machine. I really know the answer. I cannot function with everything I do all day long if I did not have my water. I know that already.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. And then I've had people say to me, "Why do that's expensive to do organic and blah blah blah." The way I look at it, it's an investment
You
to
bet.
stay healthy as long as possible. I mean, or who knows, but I would rather spend the money now up front and be as healthy and as strong as possible than go down. How many people do you see that get sick and then one thing starts and then it's just a matter of this condition tying into this condition. I mean, we could go down a big road.
Okay, I don't want to go. Let's listen to this for a second. Have you published your book yet about your health journey?
Well, it's on my website. It's a free.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I got to read it, so I didn't know if you made it public for people.
Yes.
But here's the deal. If your story is public, look what you did. You had your 12-year health challenge and turned that around with your practices. And so you made choices, definitely. We don't make claims, diagnose, cure, treat, but literally you made choices that changed your health journey. And so if we can improve our day-to-day life, one little scooch, is that not worth it? And your book, that's a perfect example, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and it took me, I had a practitioner say to me, it took me a while to get to the point where I got sick, because of course I was thinking I can get rid of this.
Yes,
it's gonna go away.
Yep.
Yeah, and so it took me, and I talk about that in the journey, because you can see I basically talk about the whole thing at different points. It took a while to get out of it, but like you say, it was making choices and just changing habits. It's hard. It's hard to change a lifestyle. It's hard to change a bad habit. I get it, as a naturopath, I get a lot of people, well, I don't, I like my, I was just going to say my burnt peanut butter cookies, but that's not. But
tease me.
I like my sugar cookies. I have those every day with a meal, and you're like, well, is this, I mean, it's your choice. Is your health worth it? Is your health worth changing your lifestyle, whether it's water or, food, organic or not? I mean, the numbers out there, if you were to go on Google Scholar, you might be able to find the number of toxins that we are all, especially in this country, exposed to. It's unbelievable the amount of toxins that are in our water and our food and, in the air and blah, blah, blah. So why not try and, as I say, I don't even know if that's a word, stave off with drinking Kangen and trying to eat as healthy and as clean as possible. But no, that's just me. I never, like you, Queenie, I never tell anybody what to do. But if somebody asks, you share it with them.
Well, just like you mentioned, Google Scholar, that's fine. But your EWG network, I subscribe to that, of course. And I was blown away. We're not going to go any further, but I was blown away at strawberries, because I'm sitting here going, oh my gosh, so healthy, so fabulous, and oh my gosh. And so now, of course, I see people give little kids strawberries, and I know perfectly well they ain't got to no Kangen machine. And I'm just sitting here going, oh my goodness. And it tears me up.
Yeah. Strawberries, apples, berries of any kind. Those are in your top 5 on, you need to eat organic. Yep. It's sad, but
it is very sad. It makes me sad because people don't know any better. So it's education, and I get that. But your EWG website that you shared with us before, I'm just sitting here going, oh my gosh, because it was news to me. I didn't think of every single time. And so when they're making it public, because I think, didn't you give me a version for that website that I don't have to pay for? I think
I think so. I don't remember.
Because I
don't
think you shared that with all of us on this call. And so, of course, I get off these calls and do exactly what you tell us to do every time. And so when I checked it, it didn't cost me anything. And I still got to see the Dirty Dozen and all those things that you talk about, and strawberries, and my heart broke. Well, then, of course, I was grateful for my kitchen counter the way it is, but I can't imagine not being able to eat strawberries. And now when you know better, you do better, hopefully. And the 2.5 and the 11.5 is a game changer for me.
Well, and I'm going to throw this thought in and just leave it at that. From a gardening or farming standpoint, because they're putting so many chemicals on everything, it's destroying the microbiome in the soil.
Oh.
It's killing the good bugs in addition to the bad bugs, and we need a topsoil, for things to grow, and it's getting less and less and less. I mean, it's just it's sad, but if people can go out there and support, that there are smaller farms and smaller ranches that aren't certified organic because it's incredibly expensive, but they are using the terminology like heritage practices or traditional practices. They're trying to do what they did 100 years ago, and letting their cows and their chickens or whatever be out there in the grass, eating out in the grass, and running around, instead of keeping them in a barn next to their buddies and getting sick. So that's like we keep saying, this is the way we do it. And it's good to share it and maybe spur some thought if somebody sees this.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And once again, it's education, and I appreciate that so much. And all these gorgeous flowers, for those of you watching with us now live or certainly on the replay, these flowers behind us today are actually from Doc's garden. And so that's why I just wanted to blast it all over the place. Such gorgeous colors and such bounty and harvest that you do is just so magnificent.
Thank you. I feel like we're sitting in the flower garden in the middle.
I know, me too. Yeah. It's a good thing we don't have allergies, because we'd be sneezing our brains out. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no bees chasing us. So.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, well, guess what, Queenie? We're out of time again.
Yeah. We're going to start doing Doc and Queenie 8 hours a day. How do you like that?
Oh, I'm sure we'll get nobody to watch.
Yeah, seriously. Much less I'm sitting there watching my phone. Ding, 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 ding.
I'm not sure you can do that with your schedule, Queenie. And I'm not sure if I can do it from the gardens.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, well, thank you everyone for joining us today at Doc and Queenie Facebook Live at
High Noon.
We are here every Monday at
High Noon.
I could say I love to be at the time of
High Noon.
She's getting worse. I'm sorry. If you would like to reach out to Queenie, she's all over social media as Kathy Weaver KC, or you can check out her website, kathyweaverkc.com, because that'll actually brings it all together. It's really cool. You can see her books and what she's doing and see how busy she is. See if she's home today, which usually she isn't.
Yeah.
Or you can reach out to me. I'm Kitchen Garden Expert all over social media, or kitchengardenexpert.com. And kind of likewise, you can see all of the little projects I've got going and all my little movies. So until next time, have a fantastic and blessed week. And we will catch you right back here next Monday. Same time, same place, same people.
Woohoo! Thank you, Doc. Thank you,
everyone. Thank you, Queenie. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Happy birthday, Grace.
Yes, happy birthday, Grace.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.